Hi guys, this is my September favourites. There's a few YouTubers that I love watching, Wild Moon Woman and what's her name, New Age Hipster, and I buy a lot and I have a few favourites that I thought I would share. And the first one is this little black cat from Yankees Candles. And I brought it for the Halloween season. I think it's really cute and it goes on a candle and it hangs in there. So that's one of my favourites from this month for Halloween, but I thought I'd show you. My next favourite is some incense, and we have the New Moon incense by Hem, and I love this incense. I burn it when I'm doing readings, when I'm meditating. It's got a really, I couldn't say rich, well I will say rich, it's got a rich tone, but it makes me think of the night. It really helps me relax, and psychically it opens me up intuitively for readings and things, and I just really like the smell. That's a really nice one. The next incense that I like is these little, show everything like one out, Nag Champa cones, like little triangle cones. See that? And they smell, oh, so good. I'm not sure what scents or herbs they use, but it makes me think of yoga studios, meditating and things. Apparently they are the cones of the world, one of the popular, with its enthralling and captivating aroma. The finest spices, herbs, floral extracts and exotic oils and other natural ingredients are carefully selected and skillfully blended for their positive influence. So I love, the way I use this is I've got a couple of blankets that I like snuggling under, so I like to burn it underneath on a table, and I put my blankets over it so they absorb all the incense, so I can smell it on the blankets, which I keep an eye on. I wouldn't, well, if you're careful, do it, but just be careful. But I like the smell. My next favourite is this little heart stone, which was handmade. I picked it up from a local market stall in my area, and she makes them, and they're like diffusers. You can put essential oils onto them and smell it, and I love the fact that she shaped it into a heart, and I put different essential oils on when I'm doing love spells for clients. I use it a lot, so it's got a lot of positive energies to do with love, and it's just one of my favourites to pick up. It's simple to use. You put the essential oils on it, do whatever you want, and you could carry it with you. You could meditate with it. As I said, I use it for spells, but you could do anything. But I really do like that one. It's simple and easy to use, and it's nice supporting someone. My next favourite, and this is my favourite crystal for the month, it's Larimar, I probably pronounced it wrong, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see. Does it look better if I move? It's got absolutely amazing every time I hold it, it's got a beautiful vibe. When I look into it, it's like looking into the ocean, and I'm always seeing different new patterns. It called to me, and it'll be my only crystal of this type that I will use. I haven't used it on clients or for readings. I like just holding it and meditating with it. It takes me into trances. It's just a really, really pretty crystal that I am favouriting this month. It's gorgeous, and I'm really, really happy with it. It's nice and smooth as well, so you can really just play with it whilst you're talking, which I was doing. My next favourite, I do have an oracle and a tarot deck to show you, and I have a couple of books to share with you as well. My next favourite for this month is a book, Hecate, a devotional, and it's a tiny, tiny little book that I got from Amazon. I was looking through Instagram and there was a couple of accounts that I follow that had this up, and I was really interested. I looked at it and brought it. I got it for £1, which was brilliant. It's about 80 something pages, as you can see where I've bookmarked. I'm on 39, and it's a really interesting book. I wouldn't say it's for anyone that's looking for rituals or spells. It's more for someone who wants to work more in depth with Hecate, or maybe take a few of the poems or the way she describes to help you meditate with Hecate. It's just, like I said, I haven't finished it all, so I can't say for sure. I think it's very rich, and she goes really into depth about her work with her, how she feels working with her. It's a beautiful written book, and I wouldn't say it's something that you can read to embrace the muse. Dark Mother Muse, dread and wild, I cannot resist you, I won't even try. Veronica Kummer, Masks of the Muse. It's just lovely little poems. It's just a really, I wouldn't say it's too intense, but I'd say anyone with an interest should buy this book. It's brilliant, it really is, and I can see me going through it and picking at it and working with it for years. It's a good book, or devotional. My next book, and oh my gosh, I've ordered a few things off Amazon. I've been really on the looking for bargains, buying a couple of them for £1, paying shipping, and a couple of them have been really pants that I wouldn't recommend. I've actually put them in the recycling afterwards, but I only paid £1, and they're all books. This one I got for 48p from Amazon with shipping. It's by Diane Stein, I think. It's called All Women Are Healers. It's got this absolutely gorgeous picture on by, is it Susan Shedden? I think she passed away the beginning of last year, and I've got her oracle card. She's done an animal and a goddess, and I've got a couple of other books, but I love her artwork. It's very shamanist, and yeah, I just love it. It really is. So for 48p, the cover of the book alone to me was brilliant. But once I started reading it, I'm a holistic therapist, and it goes into healing for women, obviously. She talks about laying on stones, the ancient art of Reiki and laying on of hands, polarity balancing, Chinese healing and acupressure, foot and hand reflexology, which is interesting because I've been trained in reflexology on the feet, but I'm always interested in the hand and other people's knowledge. Pendulums, vitamins, using herbs, homeopathy, flower remedies. I mean, it's some of the references she uses and the way she comes across. This was published, I think, in the early 1980s, but she really knows her stuff. The way she talks about the crystals and the laying on and the way she describes it is really interesting. Some of her, in the introduction, some of the things she talks about, and she is very, I think she's definitely a feminist. She's very women. So if you don't like that, don't buy this book. But it doesn't bother me. I think that at the time that this was written, we may have just been, hoping to break that glass ceiling kind of thing. And I'm only into the ancient art of Reiki and laying on of hands, but I find it really knowledgeable, really, really handy to have. And she really knows her stuff. She's been doing this for years. She's a really talented author, and it looks quite quite heavy writing, which is why I haven't read everything yet, but I've been making my way slowly through it. She actually, for the Reiki side of it, she says that she's been doing the laying on of hands for years, and then she tried a Reiki season 1, and she said that it's basically what she was doing herself, but through the goddess, and she doesn't understand why they charge so much money for you to become Reiki in tuned. So if you kind of come from that area, it's handy because she shows you how she does it and how she tunes in as well, which I thought was really interesting. And the fact that she'd actually tried a Reiki intuition herself was really, really interesting. So yeah, really enjoying it, and 48p, I would recommend to everyone. I would buy again. I love this book, as you can tell, because I've talked about it for ages. My next 2 favourites. One's a oracle card. Let's see. One's an oracle card, and one is a tarot deck. And yeah, they're both, I think, older decks. They're nothing new, not hard to get hold of, but I really, really like them. And my first deck is the Tarot Zombie deck. Now, people might laugh, and they may already have it, and they may agree with me, but I've seen this deck around many times. I've seen videos on it, and for some reason, a couple of beginning of the month or last month, I was really drawn to buying this deck, and I got it, and I worked with it, and I love it. It's really sturdy box, solid construction box. You've got bullets around the edge of it. You've got a really cute little booklet that comes with it. It's got, you know, little meanings. It talks about a few spreads that they do, which is all of the, you know, zombie theme. What is it? You've got the gravestone, the eyeball, the severed head, which you want to do with a zombie in an apocalypse. And then you've got the cards and the backs of them. You've got like a fortune teller. And then the pictures and the way they come across, the images from it, you just, as soon as you pick it up, you can kind of work with the energies of the card. They talk, they tell you what they mean, like the 8 of Swords, brilliant. It's a guy that's trapped, but he can make his way out if he can only see clearly, you know. What else? I've worked really, really in depth with these cards over the last couple of weeks. I've also drew on them with my own little interpretations. The 2 of Wands. This guy's got more than one choice there. And then we've got the 2 of Swords, as we know, which is about decisions making and not seeing clearly, which we've got with the guy blinded. He's got a chainsaw and a shotgun and 2 choices there. What else do we have? It's kind of, I thought when I saw it would be kind of a gimmick deck. It would be something that I liked, that I enjoyed working with. And then once I got it and I started working with it for client readings, readings for myself, just working with it, it's really, 5 of Hazards, what's it telling me there? It's really, there's a lot of depth into it. If you look and you pay attention, the messages just fly out of this deck. And it's definitely one that I would say to people to get, especially with the Halloween season coming up and the darker times. This is going to be a really great deck to work with, and has been. And I think for the price you can get it pretty reasonable. I think it's brilliant. The author and the illustrators did a really good job. I think they've done like a housewife deck, which I'm not as interested in. It's just the zombie one, for some reason, was the one I liked. My last deck is the Power of Surrender cards, and it's a brilliant box, nice and sturdy, and it's by the Lifestyles publishers. And I got this deck because I seen it on the Wild Moon Woman's. I think I'm saying her name right. Wild Moon Woman's, and she'd used it as a release, a couple of release cards in a moon ceremony. And as soon as I heard surrender, I got quite negative. I was like, I always see it as a weakness, as you giving in. So I was like, right, I'm going to try these cards because I'm getting a good vibe, and I'm really glad that I have. It's really pretty. The backs of them are lovely. It's got gold gilded around the edges. And then the cards themselves are all about surrendering stress, surrendering to the beauty of the natural world, surrendering fear. So they're all positive, but they help you to move on. I've used these for myself, surrendering to unhappy relationships. I've used this combination, combined. I use it daily or for, what's coming up in the week. And they've been spot on. They really do help. I've used them I do small readings with these, and I've used them for clients and they've enjoyed it. And I think sometimes we just need to be told. Look at this one. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. And we've got this beautiful tree that's blooming. It's clearly surrendered. They are really well done. Surrender to your intuition. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. That's something that we all need to work on sometimes. Surrender to your full power. So with me, it's really helped me to let go of that negative association with surrender. And I've worked through them, I've worked with them, and I really like the deck. Who is it? Judith Olaf, MD, New York Times bestseller, author of The Power of Surrender. I don't know if she did all of it, the illustration and the writing, but it's her only name. It's a 52 card deck. Surrender is the divine art of letting go, the ability to flow instead of clenching, obsessing and over-controlling. By consulting this deck and accompanying instruction booklet, which I didn't get a booklet, but I don't think you need it, you'll be able to create the most positive future possible and learn not to sabotage yourself. Now that's true. I think a lot of us tend to get in our own way. Sometimes, well, most of the time, we don't realise we're actually doing it. Let's see what they have to say today. That one. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. Now that's funny, as you can't please everybody, especially on YouTube, as we all know. And I think that's, some people really need to take that to heart. I need to take that with family and friends. Sometimes when you're working, when you've got other things going on, and you just want to come home and you just want to, chill out, relax and take a bit of a break, and then someone says, oh, can you come and do this, or can you come and do that, and you're like, yeah, I can do that, and it's draining and it's tiring, and you're doing it to make them happy. You're not doing it for yourself. Why can't you say, I'm sorry, I'm tired tonight, I'll do it tomorrow or the next day? What is so wrong with saying no and then taking that time out for you? We only have this one body, and you need to learn to look after yourself. Now the little comments below says, speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. Are you a victim of that? Yeah. It's the hardest word, I think, saying no, especially to family or loved ones. But sometimes you've got to do it. Okay, lovelies, that's me done. Oh, and a complete randomness. I don't know if anyone collects these little figurines, but I love the Dark Crystal and I love the Labyrinth. They're two of my favourite fantasy films. And my boyfriend, my partner, got me this little mystic figurine. And I love him or her. I don't think you can, I don't know the sex. I don't know if anyone does. I like to say they're unisex. But she sits on my little tarot desk and watches over me when I'm doing readings and videos, and she's got wise, and she's got wise eyes and things. So, yeah, it's another one of my little favourites, but always. Okay, I'm going to say many blessings and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.